Psychologists have studied happiness at work and they come up with surprising conclusions. Contrast a surgeon, high prestige, high salary, with a janitor, low salary, low status. It could be that the surgeon is very unhappy and the janitor is very happy. This often happens. Why? The surgeon will come in and the schedule is dictated to that person. You will start at 5:30, you will do this week, and probably the same next week. They have no control. The janitor is expected to go into the room, sweep up a little bit, empty the trash, but there will be time to talk to the patients. How are you today? Can I rearrange your flowers? Is there anything I can get you? They go above and beyond their job. They develop a sense of autonomy, self-control. They gain satisfaction and they can be happier. What's this got to do with lecturing and flipping? I promised I'd give you my opinion in this video. I promise also that I'd tell you what I think the most important thing is you could learn at a university. Let me get into that and let me illustrate how I think these are all intermingled. I talked about conventional lectures and how they're orderly. A professor dictates the pace. He has control of what is delivered to the students, presumably what will be on the exam. I talked about flipping where interactions are prioritized. Students, they learn at their own pace and problem solving is emphasized. But on the other hand, I talked about a lot of the cons of lecturing. Lack of interaction can be boring for the students. The emphasis on taking notes and what that does for the students, well, if notes taking is really emphasized, then the students believe that their notes are everything. Anything not in the notes won't be on the exam. I've learned the notes. Please give me the grade so I can get out of here. Flip classes, in my opinion, get more and more difficult with more and more people in the class. There's more anarchy. A professor cannot control what goes on in every group. They don't know what goes on in every group. They can't see very dominant students who manipulate the whole conversation, submissive students who never contribute. They can't get round to every group, and perhaps they don't have helpers to allow them to do that. So the students are sitting there thinking, well, we need help. We're at a dead end. What should we do now? And I know what they will do. Start checking their cell phone. So lectures or flipping. Is there a better way? I promise to tell you, yes, I believe there is a better way for the average class size, and that is semi-flipping. And you can call it semi-lecturing if you like. What do I mean by semi-flipping? I put it to you that in a semi-flip class, it's definitely not flips into groups. And it's definitely not a lecture that emphasizes note-taking. Instead, the key resource is actually not even going to be a textbook. It's going to be a workbook of problems. And that workbook of problems will contain many, many more than the students need to illustrate each concept. In other words, they can practice each concept multiple times by working through these problems. It would be hard for them to remember all the problems, especially if the exam features almost the same problems, but with different wording, different emphasis, maybe reversed in some way. In a semi-flip class, the professor and the students will work through some of these problems together in each lecture. The students will be encouraged to assimilate the concepts, understand them from any source. I don't insist on a particular textbook anymore. I say to the students, I think these are very good textbooks. You might buy one of these used, save yourself some money. Previous edition is fine by me, but check the World Wide Web, ask your friends, check Wikicam, Wikipedia, do anything, but learn what's in this workbook of problems. That's the key. So in my classes, I don't lecture. I discourage students from taking notes. I may introduce a concept colloquially, but only in a way that makes it easy for the students to note down every idea. And then working with the students, I call on them. I call on them by name. If I can't remember their name, I call on them by the color of their clothes or where they're sitting in the class. I will call on them somehow. I might call on the students at the back of the class because I don't want students to sit at the back of class. I want them to come forward where they learn more. I call on students who are talking to each other. I am ruthless, and the students expect it. And they know if they have no idea about the material coming into the class, then this is going to be a little bit difficult for them. I think they prepare a little bit more because of that. I tell students that the memory work takes place outside the class. I tell them what they need to remember, but it's up to them to remember it. And those key facts are mentioned in the workbook, and they're reminded from the workbook of the things they need to know. To encourage the students to study before the next one, I have a quiz on the previous lecture, every single lecture. To do well in that quiz, they must have covered the material in the workbook. Overall, what I want to encourage is the students to learn in any way they can so that they be able to answer problems like the ones in the workbook. I'm telling the students, you take responsibility for your learning. And out of that, I hope will come learning autonomy. Learning autonomy is a part of self-determination theory in psychology. Self-determination theory essentially says, manage your own life. Create motivation intrinsically, and this will lead to competence and mastery. But do not chase extrinsic motivators like the grade. This will lead to happiness because people learn how to be happy doing what they are doing for its own sake. They make decisions about how to approach it themselves. This increases self-drive and their sense of fulfillment. The best subject that you can teach at a university, in my opinion, is teach students how to enjoy learning. To do this, you have to teach them how to get in a state of flow learning something. If they can be in a state of flow learning, they will derive joy from the learning process. Once they know how to do that, they can apply it universally. In my opinion, that is the key thing, learning autonomy from flow. Can you think of something more important? Do you think calculus is more important? If you're a student, even if you've not realized this yet, am I talking rubbish? Please tell me in the comments below. If you're a lecturer and you disagree, please tell me why. I would like to know why. Thank you for listening to me again. Thank you even more if you had time to comment. Bye-bye.
I have two workbooks for sophomore organic chemistry. Sophomore Organic Chemistry by Inquisition, Book 1 and 2. They're available from www.byinquisition.org. I also have an electronic book available from Apple Books, and shortly, I hope, through Amazon Kindle. That's on bonding and hybridization, and it comes with embedded videos. The two workbooks, Sophomore Organic Chemistry by Inquisition, have a complete set of answers on the same website. Special thanks to Fulbright Malaysia, the Malaysian American Commission for Educational Exchange, and the School of Pharmacy at the University of Malaya for hosting my visit. Thank you all very much. Bye-bye.